Seems always in time, but never in line for dreams. Head over heels, went toe to toe. This is the sound of my soul. This is the sound. I bought a ticket to the world, but now I've come back again.
Ooh, hello. Happy witching hour, y'all. It is High Priestess Jamila. Oh man, I went to sleep earlier after I got done doing this meditation. I was out. I was gone. And very, very, very heavily protected from possession. I want to talk to y'all about possession. Okay? And how you don't want to just be open and susceptible to any kind of possession. Okay? It's just not good. And, it's people out there, and I am not, we're not talking about racism here. We're not. You know why we're not talking about racism necessarily? Is because what I see a lot of people doing is I see people of the same skin color doing that a lot to people, playing around with necromancy. I see it a lot. And I'm very, very, very careful. Hey, Stefan. I'm very, very, very careful with people that are dishonest and can't tell the truth and that are just bullshitting, which is why I be getting into it with some of these people on here. Okay? And I was told by my spirit guides to not respond anymore, because even that is a form of possession, to be responding to people and they bullshit. But where y'all want to be careful, because I get people that contact me all the time saying that they got scammed, saying that they went to somebody and their life just went downhill. They got sick. Possession can cause that. It can cause physical ailments. It can. And they've blacklisted this channel, which to me is discrimination, because all of my beliefs are based on my ancestors' belief. All of my ancestors, not just the Native American ones, not just the African ones, but also my white ancestors have that belief. And even my Japanese ancestors got that belief, because I've got those four things that are mainly primarily black. They all believe in that. And so I was discriminated against on this website due to my spiritual beliefs. Okay, I could see somebody catching a common cold, maybe twice a year. But it's people out there that be sick every month, always sick. That's not normal. That's not the normal for the human body. And I believe the reason why people's immune systems have been compromised so much is because of the prevalence of spiritual possession in the past 10 years. This is the reason why I fuss often about people, in particular indigenous people, reading from the Bible. I got people in my family doing that, and they're shamans. And I think that's wrong. that's very dangerous to mix shamanism with the Bible. Now, I'm not saying that because um, um, other races of people can also benefit from this information, right? Even if you white, even if you some of the purest European of blood, you can still benefit from this information. But it's something about melanated people to where melanated people are easier to place under possession as well as mind control. Okay. Which it's kind of the same thing. Okay. But it can be different. So I actually have to protect myself as a person that comes from a shaman. Like my grandmother is definitely is a shaman. I used to catch her drifting off into trances and stuff, and she'd be sitting right up. You know what I'm saying? And it would, but my grandmother was real secretive about it, and I think she did a lot of things from her subconscious. My grandmother, you could just tell that she just loved her family. So when you have a lot of love from your family, your consciousness is gonna be different. It's gonna hit different. Your consciousness is gonna hit different. So that's why it was never any trouble. We didn't have no trouble coming around. You know what I mean? But then my grandfather, you could tell, and I think it's real dangerous because when especially when you're a shaman, but people have to keep their thoughts purified, right? Because when you're a shaman, you can create events, you can create scenarios. So this is the reason why I have a big problem and why I've had so much disappointment. Because in the last 10 years, a lot of the folks who supposed to wake up, instead they just have these uncontrollable thoughts and visions that you have to protect yourself from. You do. Hey, Unica. You know what I mean? And then also it's not just that, it's the way people talk. It's them speaking things into existence. And they do it because many different reasons. Patriarchy has compromised a lot of people. The evils of patriarchy. Patriarchy can be good, just like matriarchy can be good. But what we're looking at is a lot of the evils of patriarchy, the bad side of it, the toxic side. So I feel like that's a personal choice, though. But I feel like there are some people that, they're under possession of these spirits that always keep them on the toxic side of everything. And you know what? I don't allow those people in my life. I don't. I'm very picky about who I allow in my life. I don't do that. So, um, but I think that it's everybody knows that. Hey, I don't deal with the Bible at all. Not Psalms, not Proverbs, not none of it. I don't deal with any of it at all. I just don't agree with it. And I think that as quickly as people are able to disregard the rights of women in the Bible, it just is the way that they are. they just quickly disregard, but it's actually a very, very serious thing. It's a very, very serious thing. And a lot of people are very dismissive of that. A lot of people don't care. A lot of people are just very dismissive. And that's the main thing. And then also another thing, it's the whole thing about witches. And I'm a witch, so I'm not gonna be a part of a spiritual system that wants to put me to death. Like that, just like, and it is because I am a witch by blood. And I'm not playing around with that. I'm not saying I'm a witch. I'm a witch, you know? And that's very serious for me. Yeah, I don't do that. And I see people reading it, and I feel like especially with certain things, I feel like there's certain spirits in there. So if you experiencing something, it could be coming from that. So I don't like, honestly, um, my protection, I had to make it so that it protects from the evils of the Bible. Yeah, it's evil. I don't I and I don't advise anybody to I don't trust it. I don't trust it. And you know what? A lot of people know that, and let let me just tell you, a lot of people will come on here and they'll say white people, but it ain't white people doing it from it's not. Of course, y'all know I got enemies on YouTube that are white. Like in real life, I ain't got no white enemies for real. But for some reason on YouTube. But in real life, I got black enemies in real life that, you know what I'm saying? But what I notice on YouTube is I'm like, what's really good when it comes to that, because of the history of the Bible. We don't play that. And it shouldn't even be a debate. It shouldn't even be a debate. I shouldn't even have to debate about that. It's not no competition. It's not no debate. I don't even know why it's a debate. I think it's because of people trying to force themselves into people's lives. Because it shouldn't even be a debate. I'm a witch. I shouldn't have to be bothered with that. I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that. Well, that's good, Unica. Absolutely. Yeah, but it's a whole lot of other information. Like I was talking to my sis last night, and she wants to take classes from me because I was gonna teach her how to heal herself. The healing practices that I do work. I don't know about nobody else's. But she don't nobody have no money to do it. And I just, it's very scary living in a world where people are possessed. They do things that they don't even realize it. They don't even realize that they're possessed. Even though they feel different, they don't feel good. Things are not happening good in their life. Their life ain't going no way the way they supposed to, the way they want it to go. If nothing is happening, I'm gonna tell you the signs of it ain't just a curse, it's possession. A curse is possession. A possession is a curse. If ain't nothing going right, I'm ready for you, Unica. If it ain't nothing going right in your life, and it's like you can't even envision how you like your life to be. You know what I'm saying? You ain't making no strides forward, especially if you homeless. Like I'm not talking about like homeless like you got to stay in a hotel for a little while. Staying in a hotel is not homelessness, even though you know. I guess you know, like I said, possession can come in many forms, but sometimes it's good. You know, sometimes events that happen, they happen for a reason. So, but you know, I'm talking about homeless out on the streets, no food, no nothing. And why is that being caused? You got people conjuring spirits of famine, death, destruction. You got people conjuring those spirits without even thinking about it. And then if you ask me, I feel like when you conjuring evil spirits and you don't even realize what you're doing, that's a form of possession. There's people that been under possession they whole life. They got spirits that just make them do evil stuff. It makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful of possession. Mm. So it. Sometimes possession can be good though, depending on who you working with. Now, earlier today, well, yesterday, I was working with Medusa. So y'all make sure y'all get in that circle, cause Medusa getting ready to really, 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 really. That's a powerful. That's a powerful goddess right there, Medusa. And she came to me yesterday. So it was an amazing experience. A lot of people, you know, are kind of fearful of Medusa. Medusa came in, she healed me. She did a lot of good things. I had to get some rest those, but I'm about to get up from here and get it going again with Medusa because I'm doing that group. And then I had a lot to do yesterday. I wrote out our petition for our Venus healing group, which turned out to be 2 pages back to back, front to back. 2 pages is what I wrote out. So that one's gonna be uber powerful. Okay. Hmm. She's pretty amazing. She is pretty amazing. I can tell you that much. And I feel like all of the goddesses and deities and stuff, I feel like they are fallen witches, because she taught me some stuff. I'm gonna she's now officially a part of my triple goddess. For real, her, Hecate, and Lilith. Okay. She's fierce. So I've been perfecting my craft to prevent that, because it just seemed like what we dealing with, the people that we dealing with, that are our adversaries, are the ones that are not aware. They're just genuinely not aware of their own spirits and possession, and why they're doing what they're doing, and being used as some kind of empty seeder, being used as some kind of catalyst is not good. The reason why I don't allow myself to be, I don't allow myself to be used as a catalyst for somebody else's work. And the reason why is because I have to stay on the straight arrow for my family. That's why. I mean, even if I didn't have a family, even if I didn't have children and grandchildren, for me, I would do it for me. I'm not gonna let nobody throw me off. You know what I'm saying? And this is what's happening. Whether or not it's temporary possession, long term possession, people being used to send a message or something, and it don't be a message that's helpful to them or anybody else. But then we got a lot of men under possession by that negative patriarchy and misogyny. So a lot of the men, especially black men, are gateways to hell, essentially. And you can't talk to them, you can't reason with them. You know what I'm saying? And the way a person is talking, the words that come out of their mouth is so important. When a man is talking about positive things, in a sense where he is relaying positive energy, not just for himself, but to the world, that's more than likely a man that's not under some kind of demonic possession. If a man is speaking negatively, very negatively, very abusive, very evil, he's possessed, and he's probably more than likely pushing out negativity to the world. And I've seen people sit up underneath that. I'm like, I'm sitting there, and they be like, I got you, Jamila. Like, what? Whoa, what? Wait a minute. I'm protected from that. Yeah, I don't think you are. I don't think you protected from that, really. I'm very, very careful about who I watch on these YouTube streets too, because these spirits can travel by air. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. And that's the one thing that I wouldn't. Yeah, you can feel the dark energy. I would. And but see, people that are jealous of other people. You see what I'm saying? So that's why, like, as far as like when I, with the situation I was dealing with, this person wanted to just go live and speak poverty and destruction and death and oh nut, and that's possession. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody is just sitting around. Who is sitting around just everything is bad? Oh, it's bad. It's, oh God. Well, hell, I might as well just be dead, huh? Oh my God. Oh, everything falling down. Everything, everything, everything. I'm like, and people sitting there watching that mess and thinking that I'm being affected. Like, you being affected. Cause I'm protected from people's negative words. I don't have to worry about what he say. Are you kidding me? That person don't affect me. He can't throw me off my path. You know what I'm saying? Mm, people that have jealousies and obsessions are some of the worst people. They are some of the worst possessed people. And they don't even know that they are possessed. It's very bizarre. I'm like, you couldn't, like, for me, and you know what? I think that when the more in tune you are with your body, not even the more you know yourself, because these random spirits that can possess people, or either intentional spirits that can possess people, they know how to trick and fool people into thinking that they are themselves. But I'm talking about your actual physical body, like when you know how you're physically supposed to feel when you are in tune with your body. Okay, for example, I'm the type of person, when I go to sleep and I sleep for a long time, or just for the full 8 hours, I wake up feeling relaxed. I wake up feeling positive. If I don't wake up feeling a certain way, I know something ain't right. You know, I know that, and especially the last 10 years since I've been practicing, I know how I'm supposed to feel. You know what I mean? Some people don't even know how they supposed to feel. They just accept any old feeling. That might be the wisdom of being a Cancer. Because, our bottle is I feel. We're like natural empaths. So we know, a lot of us Cancers, we know how we supposed to feel. We know how situations are supposed to feel. We know how our bodies are supposed to work. A person that has no real understanding or don't pay attention, possession is going to sneak up on them real easily if you don't know how you're supposed to feel or something is supposed to taste. Am I saying that I've never been under possession? I have. I have. The only thing is that I'm a high priestess. If I feel anything, I call to my spirits and I fix it. I fix things very quickly. It has to be. You know what I'm saying? But, you wake up in the morning, you feeling kind of like something hanging over your head. You know what I'm saying? Just something, some kind of downtrodden energy. That ain't. Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. I know that a lot of people, they go to sleep, they not really feeling well. They wake up, they feel that it's just a bad energy. It's just a hopelessness and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I know people are going through that. And you don't have to go through that. But then people tell them don't trust the witches and the healers. I've never seen anything like that before in my life. It's weird. It's weird. But that's because there's so many of them out here. There's so many of them out here that are full of shit. So I know exactly what y'all talking about. I've had this one girl. She contacts me, and I told her, I said, I had to put my foot down. I said, don't contact me unless you're getting some work done, cause I done already did a reading for you. You told me you got scammed. Now scammers. You have to be careful with a spiritual scammer, because the scammer. still knows how to do spiritual work. They just not gonna give you what you want, and they gonna take your money. The only thing they know how to do is put you under possession and use you. That's why I'm very careful about people that don't. If you're not willing to to be respectful and pay me for my time, and if you don't want to get that off of you, because scammers can put curses on you and stuff. Them the main ones out here doing stuff like that. So I don't have time to be running behind people. People come to me. hmm People come to me, not the other way around. So it's a lot of possessed people in this world, and I think that what ends up happening, especially when a high priestess or either a witch does her, if we do some prosperity work, what happens is that spirit is able to find that person and wake them up and lead them to you. You know what I'm saying? So that they can get some help. The problem is that they being led to people that really can't help them or don't want to, or they feel like if I help this person, they gonna take my knowledge and use it against me, or they're gonna take my power and use it against me. I don't worry about stuff like that, y'all, and I teach classes. I teach people. I'm a teacher. I don't worry about things like that. That stuff like that ain't a part of my consciousness. That's just like as a spiritual healer, I'm not. I'm healing people is not gonna make me sick, even though if you're a shaman, you will go through this specific sickness, but it's not what people think it is. It's not like a virus or whatever. It's something different. It's like a sickness you'll go through. And I know exactly what they're talking about because it's like stages of shamanism. And I'm fully on board for my shamanic path. I was excited about that because it's definitely it's an enhancement. It's a vibe, but it's so many problems with problematic shamans. I don't know very many shamans. I have a couple who are friends of mine. A lot of them in my family though. And that's where the problems can come in. Cause a lot of y'all got them boy. You have to be protected from bad shamanic visions because they can, especially when they get to daydreaming and stuff and they get to meditating and stuff. You got to be protected from other people's fears. You got to be protected from other people's ailments. You have to be protected from other people's visions. That's what protection is for. Otherwise, you just wide open to everything. This is the reason why I'm able to heal people and I don't get sick. This is the reason why I'm able to help people and it doesn't destroy my life because I have protection from that. And a lot of people are getting in on that piggyback protection that I got. For those of you that that new protection that I got, it is no holds barred. It is amazing. It is. And a lot of my spirits like to work around that protection. So I have it on my altar, and I'll go to my altar, and they're really attracted to it. A lot of my spirits and guides, they love it. They the ones that bought it to me, and so it's certain things that I do with that protection. So it's a few people that's been contacting me about my apprenticeship. But it's so many people out here that ain't got no money. They don't have the money. They don't have the extra money. So what I tell them is I say, do the bare minimum and do that piggyback protection, and your money gonna build up, trust me. Now this ritual that we doing with Venus and Medusa, that ritual, that group, because we gonna have to do things in groups, because people, and don't worry, like people be like, but when you be in them groups, everybody be affecting each other. uh-uh I keep my stuff kosher. Okay. And one of my gods is gonna be Hermes, Mercury, essentially, that keeps things organized. Okay. So I got a lot of Mercury. So I keep stuff organized. I keep things where it's supposed to be. And no. But that group is gonna be about money and healing. It's money too, but mainly healing. And so I had a few people get into that circle. And it's just so sad that I can't, like, the petition is beautiful. It's very impressive. A lot of the times when we're writing these petitions, the inspiration is coming from us, but I got to give credit to my spirits for that too. I got to give credit to my deities for that too. So they wrote a beautiful petition for us, and it's going to be the foundation of that particular group. Um, and so that, money is definitely going to be included in that, because there is some people out there. Some of my clients are lucky enough, they have the money to pay for the spiritual work that they need. You know what I'm saying? And then there's some people out there, they be like, they'll contact me, they'll say, can you pray for me? And I told them I don't do prayer. I don't do prayer like that. This ain't no church. I mean, I pray to my deities that, and they don't even like that. My like They don't even like that, especially when they know you're a witch. Your deities, they like for you to find that power in your mind and in your spirit. They like for you to find yourself. They like for you to find that strength, that energy. They like, I don't answer prayers. Because when you a witch, you essentially, unless it's an emergency, if you dealing with an emergency, like I'm talking about an emergency, for example, blood or bullets or somebody beat up, some kind of physical trauma. I'm not even talking about money emergencies. I'm talking about the dire, where somebody hurt, or somebody done managed to get sick or fall out. That's when prayer is appropriate. That would be the only time I would ever pray, is during some kind of emergency. Life should go smoothly. Your life should be going smoothly, not to where it should be flowing smoothly, not to where every single day is struggle. Every single day you going through it. That shouldn't even be necessary. What's happening here? And if it's about money, well, are you working or are you running your own business? Because in my experience, what I have found when it comes to money is that, especially if you are self-employed, is that at some point you're gonna get that bonus, which would be something that you can put into savings. You know, something that this is money that you can put up. This is gonna be money that's gonna, be well than enough. You know what I'm saying? It's okay for you to manifest that. But you got people walking around and all they are talking about. You can Nobody is manifesting unless they're practicing the exploitation and energy harvesting. When those are people that have an intention of taking someone else's power to use it for their own. Otherwise, if you just somebody that's straight laced and you manifesting something, because I can tell you as a witch, I have manifested. I manifest. It's every day. I know how it works, and I know even though we don't rest solely on the law of attraction, you still want to be careful who what words you listening to, what energies you're dealing with. You can't do no straight manifestation by thinking about and speaking about negative things. You can't do it. You know what I'm saying? That's not gonna work. So it's important to keep your thoughts as pure as possible when you're trying to manifest anything. And that's why it's not good to be arguing. We be arguing with people and say, don't nobody got no time for all that. Arguing with folk. Folk want to debate. Nobody should be debating with a high priestess or an oracle or a witch. Unless you see that witch doing something unorthodox to witches, because witches will look at certain things that people do as unorthodox. You doing unorthodox things to us witches. We don't we don't do that. You claiming you us. You not one of us. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Most of us witches, we got families and stuff. With a lot of witches are of childbearing age. They got families. We got families. We got husbands, or boyfriends, significant others, people that we love. We got goals. We don't have time to be sitting around debating with nobody or fighting with somebody. That's a waste of time and energy. Mm-mm. So, I mean, if I felt like I had to, I would let somebody know what's up is. But when people want to fight with you all the time, I'm kind of suspenseful that they either energy harvesting or they trying to do some kind of destiny swap. And y'all got to be careful, because the destiny swapping and the energy harvesting, they start on the Wednesday. Today, Thursday. Now they start on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. They love that. And y'all got to be careful, because y'all got to understand that the actual rituals from destiny swapping, it can sometimes take 3 to 4 to 5 years to manifest sometimes, but you can feel it, especially if you have a lot going on in your life and there's certain things that you need to happen, right? And it may not be happening, or it may be happening real slow. That mean that I done seen young people. I done seen young people out here. They know these kids, you know, these youngsters are starting out early, but it depends on what environment they come from. I ain't never looked at somebody else and wanted to steal their destiny. I had good people looking out for me growing up. So I had to worry about no stuff like that. But when they doing that stuff, what they doing is it's kind of like a gradual process, especially if they have certain goals that they want to do. So all that stuff will be a year out, and you'll be planning your goals and things that you want to do, but they planning they goals around you and your energy and your identity. Okay, and that's how they able to steal your destiny. Maybe they felt, maybe they was told that they got a lot of bad stuff coming up for them. Or maybe they feel like, maybe they feel like they don't want to live like a mediocre basic life or whatever. Which, for me, having the biggest house, it's not important. Even though, uh, I my forever home is going to be a big lake house. That's just all it is to it. And I think that there was some people that heard that, they envisioned it, they didn't feel that it was in their destiny, so they want to take my destiny. Like, well, why don't you just create whatever you want? I ain't never heard of no shit like that, y'all. I ain't never heard no shit like that. That's weird to me. I was raised in a positive environment. My grandmother used to sit and tell me, she used to tell me, Shawnee, you can do whatever you want to do in life. Anytime I would tell my grandmother anything, she'd always say, you can do whatever you want to do in life. And she's still telling me that. So, some people come from an environment, I guess, where they being told, you ain't gonna be able to do that because of so and so and so and so and so. Like, no. My people told me, even though me and my mom, we got into it a lot of time. My mom, the last time I talked to my mother before she started really getting taken out by that cancer and stuff, she bought a house and everything with cancer. She told me, she said, you can do anything. She said, you a pioneer woman. She said, you can make it anywhere. That's exactly what she told me. So that's who I tend to listen to. I don't listen to, you know what I'm saying? So now, granted, I do have to watch negative folk. I do. You gotta and you ain't gotta watch them. Wait a minute, let me take that back. You ain't gotta watch them. Just bind them and protect yourself from them. You know what I'm saying? hmm You got folk that'll even try to steal your ancestors. I've seen ancestors stealing. I've seen that happen. That's why we have ancestor altars, because people will try to steal other people's ancestors. It's weird. I guess it's a blessing to give positive reinforcement to your loved ones. That's a blessing, I guess. To me, it's just second nature. You know what I'm saying? Positive encouragement. Um, we got people out here though. This is the one. That's one of the reasons why I have a problem with that Bible, is that people run around here thinking they can punish people. Like, you can't punish nobody. Like, the hell you gonna punish grown people? And that's why so many grown people have struggles, because you got other grown people thinking that they got the right to punish somebody. If you have words with somebody, you don't get along with somebody, The person is irrelevant to you. We got that problem in the spiritual community. People that think that listen, if you're not supposed to be, you can't force it. You can't force it. If somebody gives you signs that they're not supposed to be in your life or near your life, that's it. You can't change it. You can't just say, "Oh, well, I'm gonna force you," and then especially if you like I've seen people out here. They on the attack. They attacking you. They're lying on you. Yet they want you to bow down to them and show them respect. And if you don't, they want to try to attack you. Well, you know what? Guess what? I ain't gonna never bow down to that. Listen, I'm sorry, especially when it's a parasocial relationship. No, man, you. Hey, listen. Um, that's people searching for validation, especially when you done attack somebody's babies. Like, I don't. I can protect my babies, and I got four of them. So I really don't be playing this. So you don't never negotiate with terrorists. We don't negotiate with terrorists. The hell you talking about? We don't, and it is what it is because I've seen people. Let me tell y'all something. When somebody that's terrorizing your life and somebody that got it out for you, it don't matter if they in your family or outside of your family, and you know that person is up to no good. I have seen people that have made amends with people like that and they die. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I ain't making no amends with you because I know that you still up to that, and you got to be aware of spiritually when you got folk trying to sacrifice you, because that's what that. Listen, I'm just gonna say straight up and fucking down. That's what they be doing sometime with their religion. Okay, they trying to sacrifice your ass. That's what they trying to do. Okay, and they'll make it obvious that that's what they trying to do. Hopefully, your spirit guides gonna make it obvious that that's what them people are up to. Next thing you know, you be gone off this earth. I believe that Psalms 109 is it's an incantation that is a uh part of their ritual to sacrifice somebody, because basically, yeah, basically it's a death thing. That's why I'm like, no. Mm-mm. Right. I don't do sacrifices. I don't sacrifice people. And you know what? Staying on that path has served me well now. Now I will ask my spirits, harming none that I love, harming no one that I love. I will ask my spirits to remove people that are dangerous to me. People that got it out for me. Yeah, of course. I'll ask for them to be cleansed from the earth. Let's put it like that. Love and light. But that's like rare because everybody I know, I get along with everybody I know. I don't know about some of these folk. They just be, they up to no good. But if it's truly somebody that's dangerous to me, I'm gonna ask my spirits to, oh, you done went crazy. You ready to come over here and do something to me? Well, then you know what? You're not gonna make it. If you trying to create struggle on me, struggle in my life, I'm gonna do one of them Medusa bindings on you. Oh my God. The way that Medusa binds your enemy, it's ridiculous. I love her. I just started working with her. I wasn't working with Medusa before. Although she kept coming to me. I kept seeing her name everywhere. So, you know, and I gotta have a spirit team, y'all. I do. I don't know what the deal is with that. But I have to have a whole team of them for real. And she'll bind the hell out of them from doing harm to you and your loved ones. She's really amazing. So she's an amazing writer too. I did some writings with her yesterday. So she's pretty amazing. So yep, I got that group going, y'all. We started work yesterday. But I probably should have started work on Tuesday instead of waiting until Wednesday. But I had everything. Everything happens for a reason. Everything always falls into the correct time, so we ain't got to worry about that. But what I can tell you is that the next 3 days, oh my God! And then yesterday was the numbers and the vibrations of 3/5/2025 was really powerful for manifestation. And it ain't nothing wrong with manifesting the things that you want. Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people be manifesting big and they be letting their enemies make them feel bad for it. I wouldn't. I wouldn't feel bad for what? What you feeling bad for? Especially me. When I get one of those big clients, because some of my clients they roll up with about 5, 10,000. Now, I'm not gonna feel bad for if they able to pay for the work. I'm not gonna feel bad about that because they getting something in return that is priceless. And some of these cases actually are pretty dire, and they require a lot of attention and a lot of fighting and a lot of work, a lot of work. And a person has to sit down and be able to focus on the work. You can't expect to get good quality spiritual work when the practitioner can't sit down and focus and they're distracted by their debt and unpaid bills. If you want the work done, you got to pay for it. You can't expect for us to, you know what I'm saying, like not even be able to afford our car payment. You know what I'm saying? And cars, repos, stuff like that. That's not gonna be conducive with your work. But if we have the spiritual knowledge and the pull to do it, you know what I'm saying, and you getting what you want in return, and you ain't gotta worry about no negative karma, because that's the main thing I would be worried about out here is people's negative karma. I would be worried about that. And then people being flaky. See, that's the reason why people come to me, because I'm solid. None of my clients have to worry about me ever flipping out, becoming possessed, and then either getting scared. And I would never go and get scared and go to the Bible and Jesus and say, please, I was wrong. I was bad. Please, you know, I'll offer this person as a sacrifice. No, you'll never see me do that. What I'll do is I'll go to Lilith and I'll say, "Blessed be to the blessed be to the sinners. It's a lot of people that just they too flaky, man. They can't find their north and stick with it. Straight up and down. I ain't gonna I ain't about to do that. So then I've seen even the church try to throw shit at my kids. Well, maybe if something happened to her kids. I said, oh, you know what Lilith did? She took their memory. She saw them doing that and she took their memory. She scrambled their brain like eggs when they did that. When people from the church did that, they were actually trying to make something happen to my children so that I would learn and go back to Jesus and go back to church. They were doing rituals, okay, so that I wouldn't practice witchcraft. This how confused and mixed up they are, y'all. You can't make this up. They did a ritual that looked a lot like a witchcraft ritual, right? They did a ritual to make something horrific happen to my loved ones. It didn't happen. It didn't happen, right? They did a ritual so that I would go back to the church, which I've never been there. Like I don't understand why they say go back to Jesus. But they did it, and my spirits is always watching. They caught that. They sent a bunch of negative energy to my children, to my daughters. And so my daughters, they called me, that next day after I saw that happen. And Lilith, I hate to see them mess with Medusa like that. Oh my God, they did it too. And nothing happened to the girls. Luckily, nothing happened to them. Thank the goddess. Nothing happened. I think that they was able to break some ground because one of my daughters kind of got into it with her boyfriend, and I did some prayers, not prayers, some incantations over them, and they were okay. Cleared all that stuff out. Went out and did my fires and cleared it out. You know what I'm saying? But you sick when you doing stuff like that. And so what Lilith did was messed them up. I can imagine they was messed up for a little while. I'ma make you go to the church. Uh-huh. And sometimes your own family will do that to you if they know you practicing. I had no choice but to be in the public eye, so everybody in my family know to deal with me. That's it. That's possessed. That's when somebody possessed. That's so stupid. And I'm talking about death. They tried to make death happen to my daughters. Death and destruction. And my children ain't none of them optional. None of them are optional, and they are not sacrifices for me or anybody else. They're not. I didn't bring them into the world to destroy them. I brought them into this world to raise them in my image, in my name, for real. So I don't play that mess. And my mind is like it's like hard as steel. So people that are up to no good like that, by in that regard, they see me as a predator or a terminator. But it's like, but you can't really claim that I'm bad when I can see what you tried to do for the sake in the name of your Lord. Hmm. So you went to your God and asked him to destroy my kids just so that I would go to church on Sunday? Yeah, my children's lives are not up for negotiation, and they're not an option. My children have never been an option. And I didn't have them quote unquote for their father. I had my children for me. I always wanted to be a mother. Ever since when I was like 12 years old, I was ready to be a mother. My mom was like, "Oh my God, my daughters. Then what's wrong with you? You only 12." And so my mom was a good mom. I didn't end up getting pregnant until it just was something. I think she kind of freaked out, but I ended up getting pregnant at the age of 23. I was in my 20s when I got pregnant with Ty. Oh goodness, I wasn't planning on actually having a baby. I just was letting that. I think that cancers as children, we scare the shit out of people because we much more advanced emotionally, and then some of us be sitting there, we be calling it down. A lot of cancers will freak people out because um we'll be doing readings, you know, as toddlers. We'll be telling stuff, and people be like, what's wrong with that child? You know. Yeah. Well, I wasn't even sexually active to have a kid at that age, but I just was telling my mama that, telling her how I wanted to be a mommy. And she was just like, "You too young right now." I remember that conversation. She said, what is making you even speak this way?" So, I was connected to my kids well before I even gave birth to them. I don't know why I just do things like that. And then when I had them, it it wasn't that their father was an option. I would never look at it like that because I know the importance of fathers, but I also know the importance of protecting the children. So, all that stress and trauma and drama from a possessed man, I just didn't allow it to be around my kids. If we were all taught what we should be taught, which is our native spiritual beliefs, we would have less problems because I could have just told them to, go out on the porch and I'll be out there with some sage in a few minutes, but it's destiny. Sometimes things are destined. So it just wasn't meant for that situation to work out. Yeah, that's another thing, Unica. I went through puberty at a very young age. I started having my cycle at 11. So the moment I started having that cycle, I started having feelings of wanting to be a mother for some reason. Of course, I was too young, of course. But, I guess it came with the territory. So, anywho, yeah, I started my cycle at 11. I never forget, I was at school when it happened. And I saw that. I was like, oh my God, you know? Mm-hmm. But doesn't I don't believe that when a girl starts her cycle, that means that she's necessarily ready for sex. I think it's a private thing that should only be discussed with your mother or either a trusted sister or auntie. So we don't go around talking about that in front of men. I can imagine a lot of men close this live out. It's just women left in here. Like, oh, they talking about that female stuff. Let me go. So when I was 11, it wasn't no perverts hanging around talking about, you ready? I'm what? I think you ready. No. So I was still you know, I did end up with a boyfriend when I was young. I had a boyfriend. I ain't even gonna lie about that. Now I was about the age of 14 or 15. My um I just left my cause me and my mother was living with my grandmother by then. I just left my grandma's house and walked up the street and spent the night with them. And everybody, I scared the shit out of everybody. They didn't know where I was. They was looking for me. And you know, fathers, they have a good intuition too. So my father said I was driving around. I was driving around and I saw you climbing out of somebody's window. I back then, what's that rapper's name? The one that wore the clocks around his neck. I don't know why I can't think of that rapper's name. Was really popular back then. He's the one with that wore the clocks. Stevon probably gonna figure it out for him what his name is. Flavor Flav. uh, I was climbing out. I was climbing out of his window. Spent the night at his mama house. I was climbing out the window. The clock around my neck. My dad said I saw that. He said what? He said what were you doing? So my mother sent me to go live with my father. Oh goodness, that was funny. You know, life's little adventures. When I get period cramps, don't hurt so bad. I don't get cramps. I get a dull ache. And that dull ache, I know is not normal for me. So while I had a fibroid that I got rid of within 3 months, and it probably was smaller than what I thought it was. It was like an intrusion. But I don't, I never get cramps. I just get like a dull ache. And you know what I'm saying? Usually the first day of my cycle, during that, you may want to check and see if you may have something going on, Unica. Um, the menstrual cramps could be a sign of something. And you should do them castor oil packs. They're really good, and they help with constipation too. And it's very soothing to your reproductive organs, because I've noticed that a lot of people, for some reason, they want to abuse that part of a woman. It's sad, but it's true. You know. hmm I noticed that since I've always been a 7 dayer. Always have been at 7 days with a 28-day cycle, right? Because when I was conceiving Jacob, that's when I found out everything about my cycle. But I noticed that when I did that castor oil pack, it was only for like 5 or 6 days. So it actually reduced the time. And I was like, wow, those castor oil packs are amazing. And then I probably got rid of a couple of bad spirits or whatever too, because I did spiritual work on my womb. I was doing spiritual work on my womb from big time and heavily from August of last year until January of this year. And y'all got to be careful when like when people they get to talking about your sex life and your vagina, and you like, what are you talk why are you talking about I can talk about it because it's mine. You can't talk about it. So when you say get off my pussy, sometimes you got to really get people off of your pussy, because they be trying to gain access to it. They be trying to either damage it or, you know, energy harvest off of it or something, or ruin it. And I had somebody contact me. It was about 4 or 5 months ago. Talking about, do you offer a coochie rotting spell? I said, no, I don't offer a coochie rotting spell. I said, I do offer cleanses because you possessed. I understand why women go to get things like that done to other women. I can understand, especially if a woman has done something with your man, but sometimes you got to look at your man. What the fuck you doing curses on women for and your man ain't shit? Like, that's stupid to me. That's stupid to me. Yeah, and you do all this stuff and try to cause devastation to this woman, and but you still got a problem. You still have a problem. It's not the woman's fault that your man won't stop looking at her. That's not her fault. But a lot of women don't look at it like that. They think that you're doing something to facilitate that. I guess being on YouTube running a business is facilitating attention from other women's men that I'm sorry, I'm just running a business here, and no, I do not offer sex services. So go sit down and go figure out why your man has a roaming eye. That would be the obvious. I saw my significant other talking to some woman outside. I never told y'all this story before, but I saw him talking to some woman outside, and you could tell that she was a floozy because all her titties was hanging all out and stuff, and she was she was kind of overweight, but she was real voluptuous and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you could tell he wasn't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? It was like a crowd of them out there talking. I sure did go and do some spiritual work, but I didn't do nothing to curse her or nothing. Like, I worked on him. I worked on him. I sure did. I did some work on him. 'Cause, I did. But I felt like when I looked at, I said, somebody done sent this slut. People will say it because it was real coincidental. People will do that. People will do that. I've seen them do it. I've seen witches do stuff like that. Evil witches, they know you in love, and they'll cast a spell. I conjure and invoke a slut to go and talk to her man, whoever he is, by the powers of air and earth. Some shit like that. And next thing you know, some slut done showed up, just done popped out of goddamn nowhere like popcorn and shit. You know, and you gotta protect your man. You gotta have some real. I'm talking about like, cause people will hate. They know you in love. They will do everything in their power to kill that love and to push that person away from you. They will do everything in their power. Hmm. Now, in that case, it's okay to say, "Bitch, get away from my man." You know what I'm saying, and do some work like that. But just to be, because a lot of women will try everything, prayer. They be using psalms and stuff, and the man he just still be looking at the woman. He still be obsessed with that woman. And it'd be like, hell, I ain't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want your man. Ain't you ever heard that song by Keisha Cole? I ain't never in my life had nobody fighting with me over their man. No, I ain't never had that happen. That shit was a fucking glitch. Cause I don't operate that way. You know, my love life tends to happen much more on a natural type of naturistic level. And I definitely stay the hell away from men who are married. That's one thing and so, that would be out of my character. So if a woman was to, be paranoid or accuse me of some shit like that, it's like, sis, you wrong. I would fight over my man, like my significant other now. I know that belongs to me. It does. You know, he was single, not married. He's been married before. But if you ever had something like that happen, you better believe that people, I swear, oh my God, people will do that. And again, possession. Again, possession. Do not be that type of woman that can be possessed because you meet somebody, you just an ordinary woman maybe, and you just, you may dress scantily. You may be scantily clad or whatever, dressed all scantily and skankish, but you ain't looking to sleep with nobody. And next thing you know, the wind blow and a spirit catch you, and you being used as some kind of fucking puppet for somebody. So you can't be just susceptible to possession. And that's how possession happens, because somebody needs something to happen for their own sick purposes or whatever purpose that they have. They know how to do conjure work, and next thing you know, you sleeping with this man and you don't even have no connection with this man. I've had it happen to me. I can speak from personal experience. And they will try to use that man to hurt you sometimes even. I don't either. I don't either. I don't like that either, Unica. Mm-mm. Yeah, I don't like no. Mm-mm. You can be cursed doing stuff like that, messing around with a married man that's involved with somebody. You know, that's why it's best to, perhaps you should tie up his nature. I don't think a lot of people have quite figured out how to do that yet. Or I guess it's tie his nature to you or whatever. I don't think a lot of people have figured that out yet. How do you actually do it? I'm not going to talk about it because, that's something that men like to challenge. But I think that it involves many, many steps of doing stuff like that. Like, first of all, why can't this man, why wouldn't a man want fidelity? Fidelity is royalty. Sleeping around makes you a flaky loser. It is very regal when you keep it in your pants. That's a fact. It ain't no, I'm not impressed at all. Never have I been impressed by men or women that sleep around, but especially men. They think that that's impressing somebody. I'm like, you must have a certain type, because I'm not into that at all. I'd rather be with a man that's been sitting around for weeks, months, celibate, even though they have their own complications that they dealing with. If you're not in a relationship with somebody or married, then more than likely you should not be sexually active. And especially, going around like sleeping around with a bunch of women, that does not impress me. It doesn't. It may impress other type of women, but for me it doesn't impress me. It never has, because I see it as somebody that's very unstable, and men like that usually are unstable financially. They're not financially stable, you know, and that's a fact. Not financially stable according to my idea of financial stability. There's levels, there's different levels to financial stability. I wish I could show y'all the way that, anyway, we ain't gonna talk about that. But, I feel like when you're financially stable, I feel like when I'm financially stable, certain things are gonna be playing out. I'm gonna have certain things, a certain amount of money in savings. You know what I'm saying? And other people's idea of financial stability may be different. And I feel that, you know, uh those types of men that spread themselves around like applesauce or something, that no, no, yeah. So that's something you should be looking for. You should be looking for fidelity, and so we talked about that a few days ago when I spoke about that. Infidelity to me don't have nothing to do with me being jealous over whether or not another woman is better than me. This is about the security of us, security of our health. You have better secure health, and then you're able to secure and keep your wealth. You're able to manifest wealth. Fidelity manifests wealth. So a lot of these whoremongering men running around here, they have not figured that out. And this is the reason why they constantly want to bring financial instability into your life. So that's why as a lot of women, they like, fuck it, I'm just going to stay single because I can do better by myself. Because, and when men are out soaring their royal oats or whatever, that can be bad too, because that those energy attachments and entity attachments are happening. So if you have a connection to a man, whether or not you together or not, you got to watch him. You got to watch him, especially if he's like a soulmate or something, or, what y'all like to call twin flame. I don't mm-mm, I don't like that. And you gotta he don't need to be sleeping around with no you think it's gonna make you happy, but it's a trick. So that's pretty much what that is. So it don't have nothing to do with competition or nothing like that. It's just that people want financial security, people want secure health, people want those things, but they don't understand that your sexual activities, unless you just gonna go and be a gigolo, which whatever, you know. But if you are manifesting and building together as a couple, there should not be these outside influences, and those are things that you should protect yourself from, because I'm gonna tell you, I done seen it plenty of times. Men and women, they will build together. It will be just the two of them, and then you'll see somebody doing some witchcraft and some necromancy because they want to get in on it. See what I'm saying? You gotta keep that stuff the hell out of your relationship, because that's when you start having financial problems and shit starts slipping. So I know how it works. You know what I'm saying? I work with Santa Martha. There's a lot of women that will do spells because they want money. They want a man to pay them money. I ain't never did no spell to make no man pay me no money. If a man gave me some money, it's because he offered it. I don't ask men for money necessarily. I don't do stuff like that. And if I ask you and you give me a hard time, you will never get the privilege of me asking you for a damn thing ever again. And that because I don't know, I don't care. I feel very highly of myself. If I ask you for money, that means that I may hold you to, I may be holding you to some high regard that I can drop it within a second. It's gone because I don't do that. But I've seen people, like for example, that are, and they don't even have to be married, they just be together and they building up their money together and they doing good, and then some outside influence, like a woman that wants to make money, maybe a sex worker. That's why sex workers will use witchcraft to manifest money, so that they can get a man to trick off of him that's already involved. They know that the man is financially stable. Why? Because he's with that woman that's stabilizing the relationship. So I feel that you can be protected from that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like women should do that. They should protect their relationships like that for real, so that can't happen. That's just my take on the whole situation. Anywho, y'all, I gotta go because I gotta get some. I gotta figure out what's up with these weird nocturnal hours, because I do feel, and I can feel like right now I can feel a spirit that wants to uh do some work with me. I just got to figure out which one it is, and I got to talk to my guides and stuff. So I'm a go ahead and get off of here because these nocturnal hours have been crazy, but I've been on them for a reason. So I'm a get me some coffee and maybe a brownie or something. I don't know, some kind of chewy cookie variety. I don't know, y'all. So I'll see y'all later. But yeah, that group is really good. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody in the group is gonna get. I'm not going to release the incantation to the public. We wrote 2 pages back to back though, front to back. And so it's a really, really strong um working that we're doing right now. So see, Stevan be having that good stuff, cheesecake and ice cream. I have never, ever, ever thought about putting cheesecake with ice cream. That is so innovative. I love it. I love it though. I think I tried it once. Actually, I tried it and it's good. It is so good. I actually tried it like a month ago. And I thought about you, Stevan. I thought about you. I said, when you said it, you said cheesecake and ice cream, and I said I'm about to get me some from the grocery store, and it was so good, cheesecake with ice cream. Yeah. Well, you enjoy that, Stevan. I'll see y'all later. I'll have another flash sale. I love my flash sales. I'll be announcing one again. And, what can I say? Mm-hmm. So I'll have another one of those. Just heads up. It's a flash sale that's gonna come out probably about maybe about 4 or 5 o'clock this morning. Okay. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I like one thing about me. I have that. I love to see people eating and enjoying their food, and I cannot wait till I get back home and I can really cook. People love eating at my house. You know why? Because I don't have a. It's some people they don't like to see you eat. It's weird. It's weird. I've never, listen, I wouldn't understand that because I love cooking for people and watching them just relax and enjoy my food. And people usually are relaxed and they enjoy my food and they fall asleep. I haven't had Thanksgiving dinner at my house, like, because for my kids, yeah, but like, just, have a bunch of people over, and I'm gonna do that this year. Gonna be the year I'm gonna do that. With, of course, select guests only, because I'm very, very, I not only do I want people to take their shoes off at my house, but I don't let certain people, you can't come in my house, because that's been a problem. But when I do have guests over, certain select guests, because I do have friends back in Kansas City, I do have family, and of course my daughters and stuff. But people come and eat, and they just, you know they don't want to leave. They just want to, maybe sleep or something. That's just how I've always been. And like, I've noticed that with all of this drama and stuff with certain people's energy. Here's why I'm saying this, and I want to protect everybody from that, because that's horrible. What I've noticed is that when you into it with people like that, and you have, like, your food, like, you either order it or you cook it or whatever, it seems like you can't even really enjoy your food because people want to be in some drama and be all disgusting. I don't like that. I want to sit down and enjoy my food and just, like, have the joy of life. Like, y'all, I can't do it. I can't do stuff. Since I've been away from all of that drama, when I do eat something, I'm able to sit and relax and enjoy my food, and my stomach doesn't feel like it's in knots. Because because I don't like tension and stress. I don't see how people do it. And I don't do life like that. And I think that it's because those people got a bad solar plexus. See, your solar plexus is that's your stomach, is the solar plexus. So today on our petition, that's what we're, that was one of the chakras that spirit wanted to address for the group. So yeah, man, like, I then you be getting indigestion and stuff, and I just so I was actually able to sit back. And but a lot of people, when you tell them what you about to eat, or if they see you eating, they get real tense. Why? They get upset when they see you eating. Like, what, did you want me to starve to death? I guess there's some people, see, that's called the spirit of famine. Somebody, what are you upset about people eating for? And it's weird. What's wrong with those people? I don't get it. But y'all have a good one, though. I'll see y'all in a little bit. Okay. Enjoy it. You will enjoy your cheesecake and ice cream, you know, and it'll bring you a lot of pleasure, because food is supposed to bring you pleasure. It's supposed to bring you harmony and comfort. Food is not supposed to be a war. Okay? It's not supposed to be a war. Anyway, peace and love to you guys. I'll see y'all later. Okay? All right. Bye-bye.